Hi, how are you? It's me, Jeanette, Sweat with Jeanette, and I welcome you to my stretch series. I want to share 3 different things with you. First, postural stretches. These are stretches that you can do every day to transform your posture. Then, my favorite warm-up flow. And finally, if you have more time, continue into a deep, athletic, yoga-inspired stretch flow series with me. All right, thank you for coming. This is a chance for you to get to know me and my content a little bit more and for me to add value to your life. So first we'll begin with postural stretches. You're going to just shake it out and then you're going to bring your arm across for a classic shoulder stretch. Now these are not stretches that we're unfamiliar with. We've seen these. This is just something that allows you to really open up your posture, and I will tell you, when I started doing these every day, my posture transformed, and that's why I'm showing this to you, because I am a real life example of being a sloucher and now being someone who stands up really straight to the point where one of my clients was like, how do you have such good posture? And I'm telling you, I used to be told I had poor posture, and I did. And I want to add, we're doing the other side. So we're holding every stretch for 30 seconds. You want to do this in a way that you can get your hand here and just really press back on that elbow so that you can feel that stretch on the shoulder. And it's uncomfortable, but you will get past that edge and you will find a new threshold of flexibility as you hold these deep stretches for an extended period of time. All right, so this is a different style of stretching than what you might be used to, but we're gonna hold for 30 seconds. And then next, into a tricep stretch, open that elbow up and back, get that hand to be right back here, and press and hold, and you're gonna feel that stretch all along here. So posture is not just to look good and look confident. Yes, it does that, and that's fantastic, but it's also for safety. And we're all about safety, right? Especially when working out, and I actually injured myself doing an exercise with poor posture. Other side. So while you continue to hold this, I want to show you something. I'm going to give you a demonstration, but you're going to hold this for another 20 seconds, okay? Now, if I'm slouching and I'm trying to raise my arm, I actually can't raise it any higher than this. If I straighten up, now I can get it properly all the way up. So you see how much posture you can visually see the impact of poor posture, and imagine what that does to you when you exercise. All right, next you're going to place your hand in the small of your back, draw your elbow back, and drop your head back. And that's going to be a stretch that's going to go right into your neck and shoulder and upper back. Looks like this from the back. And yeah, you stretch your throat this way too, so you can tell my talking is affected, but that's fine. Hold, breathe, no talking. All right, and then the other side. And when I say do these every day, that's what I did in order to see the difference. That's when I noticed the stark difference. And I didn't make it a big deal. I did it while I walked my dog Luna. Every day I walked her, so I would marry my stretches with my walks with her. Now you're gonna do both together like this. And while I was walking her, I would hold the leash with one hand, or I would use the no hands leash, and I would do these stretches and I would count to 30. And that ensured that I was getting the stretches in every day. 3, 2, and 1. And then there's 3 more stretches that I'll show you. One is against a wall. You're gonna lean like that, and then you're gonna do the other side, and then you're gonna hang through a doorway like that. In a doorway or against a wall, you would just prop your elbow up like this, and sort of step away a few inches and then lean in, and this is a nice deep stretch also in this upper back neck area, and you want to feel that right in the armpit area also, but it gets into the back. And you just should be able to drop your hand right behind your neck and hold. Oof, feels really good. And this opens you up and counter stretches what you are doing when you're sitting at the computer, sitting at your phone, etc. And then I'll show you the other side from the back, but it's the same idea, just like that. And you can take a few moments to sink into the stretch, find the perfect angle, find the perfect distance, find the perfect amount of weight that you're going to bear into it, and then breathe. Yes, so good. Okay, that's good. And then the next one is right here. You're gonna go from the door, just lean like that. So I would literally, if I'm walking my dog, do this between trees or like against the fence or something like that. Any opening where I could do this. And another alternative, if you really have nothing, is to just squeeze your hands together and hold it like that. Because that's essentially what you're doing, right? And that is it. Quick and dirty. You can do it every day, and this will help you counter all the slouching that you do, possibly at your computer, at your phone, and it really is my default way to stand now, whereas before I used to always stand a little bit like that. Okay, thank you. Now let's move on to my favorite warm-up flow. Welcome back to my warm-up flow. Now, I teach a lot of classes. I train a lot of clients. This is the warm-up flow that I start with for everyone, for everything. It is my favorite. It just doesn't really leave anything out, and it's always relevant, and it's easy to remember, and it just flows well. So with me, go ahead and stand up, roll your shoulders back, get that good posture, inhale up, and then exhale down. You're gonna do that 2 more times for a total of 3. Inhale up, exhale down. And if you're not touching the mat here, just bend your knees so that you can. And then finally, for the last one, really get tall and stay here for a moment where you bring the hands together and lift, getting space between the ribs and actively stretching through the shoulders. Good. Come on down. Flatten the hands to the mat. If you've got to bend your knees, do that. And then you're going to step back into a plank position. In your plank, you're going to rock gently, massage the ankles, activate the core. Good. Then you're going to hold still, and then you're going to activate the abs and lunge the left leg outside the left hand. Now, if your foot ends up landing here or something like that, walk the hand back to the foot. It's important for your hands and your foot to be next to one another. Hold this and just gently rock, or sway, or circle to open up the hips a little. Good. Then you're going to take your left arm and open up to the sky towards your left knee, and then hold that. So you're stretching, opening up the back and chest as well as the hips. Breathe, come back down, and then activate the abs, step the leg back, and then bring the other side up. Good. Open up with a little rocking, and then reach up and hold. Good. So this feels great on both sides. Now we're going to flow through it and do it a few more times. So you're going to come down, back, lunge, twist. Down, back, lunge, and twist. One more time. 3 is sort of my magic number on these for all of these stretches. But hey, feel free to do more or less. It's your own flow as well. So come to your plank when you're done with that. Press into a down dog. Find a nice strong down dog, and that means that the heels of the hands and the heels of the feet are driving down into the earth, and you're feeling rooted, and you're feeling an active stretch through the shoulders. And then roll back into a plank. Back into a down dog, And you guessed it, one more. Third time, down dog, and plank. Good. Now you're gonna lunge the legs outside the hands in a super wide, sort of like a sumo squat. I'll show you from this angle, so you're gonna look like this. And if you end up landing here, that's fine. Just go side to side like this. If you are down here, go side to side. And we're looking for a little spider lunge, side to side. Yep. Try to keep the heels flat. Yes. And again, if you're here, that's fine. Just open this up a little more by doing these movements a few times on each side. And then when you're good with that, just kind of stay centered. Elbows inside knees, little yogi squat. And then you're gonna place the hands down, walk the feet together, toe heel, and then roll up one vertebrae at a time. Good. And jack it out. Woo! And that is how I start my own workouts as well. And that's it. Feel free to use that warm-up flow at the beginning of your workouts, whatever that workout is. Let me know how you like it. And stay tuned for even more stretching as we go, the deepest we go, with my yoga-inspired athletic stretch flow series that I taught at the end of my sweat and stretch virtual classes. I dedicated an entire 15 minutes to stretching with these deep, long-held athletic stretches. See you there. Are you ready to go deep with Sweat with Jeanette? Let's get into it. Some athletic stretching where we're gonna hold some postures for a long period of time. Begin in your quadruped position. So it looks like this from the side. Okay, you're gonna be on all fours, shoulders over elbows, over wrists, and you can have your toes tucked or flat, whatever is really comfortable for you. Okay, now, head and spine relaxed, arm out to the side, and you're going to rotate your arm and your back simultaneously up toward the ceiling or the sky, and you're going to lift your face and gaze past your hand. All right, so take all of those that make it one unit. Your body is going to twist and you're going to hold. Then you're going to dive that hand under. This is otherwise known as thread the needle. We're going to add a little bit more intensity to it by taking the other hand and forming a 5-finger tripod. All right, so maybe it's not a tripod anymore, but 5 fingers driving into the ground and pivoting your body deeper into that thread the needle pose. So you're gonna feel this right along the shoulder that you just stretched up to the sky. And it's gonna be a deep twist, and it's gonna feel so good. Just hold it for 30 seconds. And that feels like an eternity, but just hang here. And keep pressing, because inside that 30 seconds, you'd be surprised how much deeper you can go. By the end, you might be looking up at the ceiling. All right, and then relax. Come back, and then do the other side. Arm out, twist up, hold. So notice, I'm holding even up here, and I'm athletically winding up towards the sky. So I'm engaging here and pressing back. And I'm using the other heel of my hand to drive into the ground. So use all of those things as tools. Place the hand through the other arm, head is down, take those fingers and drive them like stakes into the ground. Hold and breathe. Very nice. And just relax everything else. Really, your energy is interested in driving these fingers into the ground, pivoting as much as you can into looking at the sky or the ceiling, and finding that stretch to the neck and the shoulder right here. A few more seconds. Go as deep as you can before you release. So if we're going to release in 5, you're going to go deep, even more, as much as you can, and then release. Let it go, come back to center. Woo! That should feel like a really nice release all through the neck and back. Okay, let's move on. Now we're going to get into some lower body. So, going to be on your knees, and we're going to stretch the hamstrings and the hips. So you're going to just kneel on one knee. We're going to stretch this hip, and you're going to just lean forward like this. As you do that, you're going to feel the stretch through the hip. And another thing you can do with these is sometimes you don't land in your position right away. Go ahead and just hold it. Or just move through it like that, yes. So once you're in the deepest hip opener you can find, then stay right there. And if that's enough, you can just hold and press your hands against your knee and just breathe like that. And that's enough. Then, if you want to go deeper, then you're going to go the next step with me. You're going to progress. You're going to take one hand high, right? The same side as the hip. So if I'm stretching this hip, I'm taking my same side hand up, and I'm going to arch my back and gently look up, and that's going to deepen the stretch. If I want to go further, I can go like that and go back. And come back to center. And gently press back out, and that should really open up right here. Yeah? It almost feels sore, like it's like very tender right now. So, that's okay, just take your time and support, you know, almost like when I get my athletic massages, they have to sort of move my arm for me after they've massaged it because it's so tender and it's been massaged to like a pulp that it can't really move itself. So, similar here, we're just getting into such a deep stretch that we don't want to actually force any movement after that. We want to just gently cradle it and move it back into position. So we're on the other side now. You're going to find that position, whether you move a few times and land into it, or you just find it right away. And then you're going to take the other hand up, all the way up, and find that extension all the way from the knee, through the hip, to the fingertip. Hold and breathe, athletically stretching. So these are not passive stretches. I'm working, you're working, we're holding, we're pulling, we're stretching, we're reaching. And then go ahead and lean back. Oh. And this really opens it up. And you know what, like I said, these are options. It's too much, come back to here. If that's too much, come back to here. You got multiple levels, options for days. We've been here for at least 30 seconds already, so go ahead and gently release it. Good. And we're going to get a hamstring stretch as well. So all you need to do is flip that toe. So you're going to flip the toe, hold, see if you can flatten your hands to the ground, but most importantly is to just try to bring the top half of your body towards the bottom half of your body. Just drawing down, and you're feeling the stretch all the way along the hamstring here. Good. Can you hear the sirens in New York City? And then we're going to switch and do the other side. I was thinking of stopping it, but that's just New York City. If you stopped a phone call or video recording every single time there was a siren, you'd never get through it, huh? Unless it's like a commercial, of course. All right, we're holding the other side, hamstring stretch all along the back of that leg. And again, see if you can draw deeper. Try to athletically bend those elbows towards the ground. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of pushing against the ground, and as I push, I can get a little deeper. And maybe I can't hold it, but at least I go there, and then I come back. I have a question about sirens. Why do they linger for so long? You know, they've got the sirens. Everybody's getting out of their way. Why did it last for a whole minute? That's my question. All right, release that. Hamstrings should feel like a little mushy, jello-y, like they're just really nice and loosey-goosey. All right, now we're going to get into a toe stretch and a wrist stretch. So maybe we don't really pay attention to our wrists and our toes. Let's go ahead and do that. So you're gonna flip your wrist like this, and just in your quadruped, you're gonna lean back, lean forward, lean back, lean forward. It's gonna feel intense. Try to see if you can even hold it. People who work on handstands, like gymnasts, they do this in the beginning of their workouts, of their training sessions, because they want that wrist flexibility. You can try to walk it in even more. Really open up the forearms and the wrists. See if you can move in circles after you've gone back and forth a little. Expand into some circles. Nice. Yes. Maybe you want to play with a few different angles. Open it back up so it's not so intense. Come back to the front. Feel the benefits of that stretch. Now we're going to stay in the quadruped and we're going to tuck our toes for sure now because we're going to stretch our toes. So what you're going to do is you're going to actually sit back on your toes. So you're tucking your toes and finding that little, you're like flexing your toes like this, and now you're going to sit into the flexed toe. So you're, first, if this is enough, then just stay here. Just sitting on your toes might be enough. Versus sitting on your flat toes, you're sitting on your flexed toes. That's a really good toe stretch. Just enjoy that. It's intense. It's good to do. While you're in there, maybe try to wiggle your toes underneath your own body weight. If you want more, then use your hands to walk yourself back. And like I said, you can control the weight and the intensity. So maybe you want to lean more, maybe you want to lean less. But you're here and your weight is over your toes. And if you want to bring your knees up, you're really balancing and weighing down on those toes. So it's a really nice deep toe stretch. This is really good for me, particularly because I had foot surgery recently, and flexing these toes is really important for me to do as part of my physical therapy. You're gonna bring it back to the front and just release those toes. Woo! It doesn't look like much, but man, that was intense. So just relax those toes, shake it out, and let's get into one of my favorites. We're going to lie on our side, and I think this is going to be our finisher right here. We don't really need to do much. It's just important to get the really good ones in there and do them well. So you're going to lie on your side, kind of like the fetal position, right? Like you're sleeping like this, but you're going to place your hands out to the side, one hand on top of the other. And you want to stack everything, so make sure your shoulders are on top of one another, your hips, your knees, and your feet. So if I was looking at you from the sky, I would just see a perfect silhouette of the side of your body, profile. Then you're going to open up like a book, all the way to the other side until you can tap the ground. And then you're gonna hold that for a moment and feel that opening in your back. Then come back to the first hand, and then do that a few times. There's really, this one doesn't have any rules. I want you to do it as many times as you are wanting to do it. And the important thing is that you do it right. Try to keep your knees stacked. Try to keep both hands on the ground and really hold that pose. Yeah. That feels so good. Woo! Once you're you're ready to move on from there, what you're gonna do is start to trace a halo over yourself or all around your body. So what you're going to do is you're going to try to drag your finger along the ground all the way around yourself. Literally from the hand over the head, all the way behind you, back to your own butt. And just keep doing that. That's not easy. It's intense. Go slow. And try to keep your finger on the ground and keep your hand facing down. Your hand flips inevitably at one point. Try to keep it from flipping it for as long as you're able to, because that holds the integrity of the posture. And I'm going to actually start doing it on the other side, just to really show you what it looks like from the back, but you can continue on this side. Whenever you're ready, you can flip it around, stack, and begin by opening like this. And then when you're tracing, trace like this. I can feel like the crackling in my back, almost like I am getting a massage. It feels like it because you're slowly, actively working through your muscles. It's not a bad substitute, in between massages to do this one particular stretch. If you want, you can close your eyes. That helps to just get a little bit of mental escape while you're doing these as well. And to drop into the movement and the muscle and the stretch that you're doing. Whew. All right. Keep going if you want. And I'm going to finish up here. There's so many more that I'm coming up with right now. You're going to start out on your knees, and then you're going to prop one foot up, sort of like at a 45-degree angle out to the corner, okay? So once you're there, then you want to square your hips, stack everything, then lift up. Good. Everything feels nice and stacked here, and your tailbone is tucked, so you're not arching your back and sticking your butt out. And then you're going to just lean over like this. And find this nice rainbow feeling, like you're not bending and collapsing, but you're lifting and rainbowing over. And try to keep your shoulders stacked as well, so that you're not rounding forward, but you're staying up and open. You're gonna drop one hand right here. If you have a block or something, you could put that there, or a pillow. And then you're gonna just drive down as much as you want. And then you're gonna look up, over, past your elbow. And this is a nice deep side stretch. Gently come back up. And take it down. Other side. This one I'm going to do this way so you can just see it from another angle. Okay, so you're gonna take that foot out, 45-degree angle. You're gonna raise both hands up, square your hips, square everything, stack everything, tuck that tailbone. Drop one arm. Well, first rainbow over. Find that stretch all along your side body, and then drop one hand. And then you're gonna just gently drop. And And when I say athletically stretching, you're actively driving down. Like you feel warm, maybe even a little sweaty sometimes. Definitely warm holding these stretches. Maybe even a little shaky. Feel this all along the side body, all along the underarms and the back. Come back when you're ready and unwind. All right, let's do this lizard stretch. This is an advanced sort of yoga flow. So you're going to come here and you're going to find a nice down dog. Then you're going to draw one leg up. And then you're going to really land that leg outside the other arm into a deep lizard pose. So you're here. If you want, you can drop your forearms down. If you want, you can wrap your hand around your ankle. Good. I'm going to drop that knee, flatten that foot, and just hold this stretch here. Good. You're going to slide out into as much of a split as you can. And this is not a contest. This is just because you're so warm and you are in this position already. We're going to support ourselves with our hands and just gently drop. Good. Now you're going to heel toe your foot around into pigeon. Look at that transition. Hold the pigeon, awaken the pigeon, and put the pigeon to sleep. Breathe and hold. Forehead to mount, eyes can be closed. So good for your glutes and hips. And if you ended up at here, you can do this up here too. Pigeon stretch has options. You can put a pillow under your butt. All right, let's finish with a little shoulder opener. Where we arch back, wherever you are, and reach for that foot. If you want to use a towel or a rope, you can do that. But the idea is to really open the shoulder here. And then you get a little quad stretch as well, and hip stretch. So as much as you want, just open that like that. Balance. These are active stretches, guys. It's not Savasana, but we can finish in Savasana. All right, relax, unwind. Let's do the other side. Down dog, shake it out, reset, one leg up. And then lunge forward into a deep lizard stretch. Good. Open it up. Gentle hip rocking. Drop to the forearms if that's there for you. Wrap around the ankles if that's there for you. Good. And then just settle in. This is intense. It's meant to be, so. Find our split. Support yourself with both hands first, and then gently slide forward. I never quite got the split. I don't know. It's this phenomenon that I still admire, people being able to get their crotch all the way down to that ground. All right, but it's good. Any amount is good because it's not about getting there, it's about pushing your own edge. Now support yourself so you can heel toe into your pigeon pose. So you're just gonna Bring it around, drop that knee, drop that glute, if it's there for you. Awaken your pigeon. And close. And you'll find that you sink deeper into it. So maybe your hip doesn't touch, and then it does. Maybe your glute doesn't touch, and then it does. Woo! Come on back. All right, let's do some finishing postures. Now, we're going to lie down, and we're going to hug both knees in, okay? And then we're going to drop knees to one side. You can let them stack or just let them stagger, whatever's natural. Once you're there, you're going to take the opposite hand and bring it up to the sky, or the top corner of the room, really. Okay? So you're going to feel that contrasting stretch from the knees through the shoulder to the hands. So you're stretching the shoulder and the side body here. And you're gazing up, and you're trying to keep both knees down. You can use your hand to do that. And you're gazing past the opposite hand. And again, go super duper deep, and then release. Whew! Other side. So you're going to drop both knees to the other side. Take the hand up in the opposite direction you want, like a perfect diagonal or a nice extended diagonal between hand and knees. So your entire side body gets open. And your gaze matters, so look up. Use that hand as a heavy weight, like a sandbag over those knees. Gaze, hold, extend, expand. Go as deep as you can for the last few seconds. And then release. Good. Finally, we're going to lay down and form a banana shape. So you're going to take your feet to one corner, take your hands, take your hips to the opposite corner, and take your hands to the same corner as your feet. So it's like on a human banana shape. So try to get your hips to sit flat as you arch into the deepest arch you can, like a U banana shape. Hold that. Oof, this is intense. And this is really good for my shoulder that I worked last night. And I'm still recovering from an injury. I feel like I'm 95% there. But this opener is really holding a good position for my shoulder. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So I hope that makes sense. If you're on a mat, your feet go to the right, bottom right corner, your hips go to the middle left section, and your hands go to the top right corner. And you try to keep your body flat. Yeah. Open. Oh, silence. This is it. After this, we're going to do a little indulgent Savasana. Feel free to fall asleep on me. I'll feel free to fall asleep on you. And hopefully, that's a full, comprehensive, under 30-minute stretch flow for you. It's really indulgent. All right, relax. Really, you can do those for as long as short as you want. Now you're going to find Savasana. So, you're going to lie down on this mat, let your toes splay out, Let your hands open, palms open. And gently release and relax your neck. Close your eyes. Good. Just tune out the distractions, the sirens, and get into your own Zen space right here. So I like to just give you a moment of complete silence, but maybe we want to set an intention first. So let's send out love. Let's send out love to ourselves and love to our community, our world. Whatever that means to you. Take a moment to set that intention. Let's practice some square breathing. So what square breathing means is that you're going to breathe in, hold, breathe out, and hold for the same number of counts. So let's do some square breathing as we continue with our intention. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, breathe in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. In, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. Continue. Continue square breathing for as many counts as you want. You can extend it to 4 counts or more, or whatever you want. Just relax for a minute here. Just breathe in silence. No agenda. Place one hand over your heart, one hand over your belly. Bring yourself back, gathering all this great energy, all this peaceful energy that you just conjured up. And just rest in the assurance that you are right where you're supposed to be, and that your heart's desires want you just as much as you want them. Take a final breath. right, well, I hope that this was helpful for you. I love to take time to stretch, whether it's the postural stretches, that dynamic warm-up, or indulging in this athletic stretch flow. So take whatever you can use from my little video for you. Thank you so much, and sweat with you next time.